Coming up on today's episode.
The first thing we have to do is make sure our health is good, which means here as well, which means sometimes stop scrolling,
I had to get off. Oh my.
unplug, discipline. Right, it goes back to right.
Welcome to the Melanin Movement Podcast, where melanin magic meets meaningful discussions. Join our all-family cast as we dive into hot topics and important issues for the Black community.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to another episode of the Melanin Movement Podcast, where we celebrate brilliance, resilience, and the beauty of melanated people across the globe. But of course, we are all family, and we are here to say hello. So, today the Fam Bam is here in the living room. First one in was Yvette. She's on a roll. 2 times in a row. You're on a roll. All righty. Next then we got Chris. Then we got Antoine. Last but not least, we got Shauna Dawn. The only other Gen X in the building. So we have 2 Gen X's, 1 Gen Z, and 2 millennials.
It's a handicap match.
I keep on asking you if you want to get a partner.
Every week, it's a handicap match.
Well,
We love you.
we love you. And Happy New Year, everyone.
No, I forgot about that.
What that it is New Year. It is 2025. And as we discussed, a lot is going on in the world. Some hostages got released in Gaza. Trump is now president. LA is still on fire. Snow is happening in Louisiana and Florida. And
It's only
And in Texas.
January.
in Texas. And it's only January. And we're about to come up on the 5th year anniversary of Kobe Bryant's death.
You ain't had to throw that in there. That was just like a.
I felt that. I felt that.
Listen, because I can't forget it. I can't forget it. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to bring the.
Like, we was already in fetal position, and you just kept kicking. Like, it was. Like, you didn't have to do that.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
For real. We really
That one. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like, the first 5 is like global
was enough.
catastrophes.
It was enough.
You didn't have
It
to
was
top
enough.
that.
You're right.
You
You're
didn't have
right.
to top that.
You're right. Nelly and Snoop are basically getting hammered by the black delegate. So we decided to change up the script and do something that is going to encourage, empower, and motivate you today. So, that being said, do you ever feel there's something greater out there waiting for you? Like you're meant for more, but you're not sure where to start or how to get there? Well, you are not alone. Welcome to the Master Your Destiny show with the Melanin Movement cast. Yes, we're going to speak about tools, mindsets, strategies to uncover your true potential and take charge of your future. What better way to start than in the beginning of a new year? I'm hearing pastors say, thrive in 2025, and there's a whole bunch of colloquialisms and sayings that people are saying for this year. So we have to, because of all the things that I mentioned in the beginning of the show, we got to block that out and we have to focus. We got to zone in on what we want to do and how we want to do it. Your destiny isn't something to find, it's something to create. And it all starts right here. So let's go. All right, so.
I'm sorry, hold on. What was the original question?
How to find, master your destiny purpose.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Potential.
Let's start there.
Okay,
Let's
so
define
how
the
about I go first? And then I
But why
kind
can't we
of,
just define it first before you explain?
okay, that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, you said, all right. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said go
Okay.
first, so I thought you were going to answer your question. That's why I said, go ahead.
Well, okay. So when I speak about purpose and destiny, I am talking about the things that have been impressed upon you, like the things that no one else knows, nobody else hears, but you have a vision for what you see for your life, and you are going about achieving it by doing 1, 2, and 3. Like maybe setting small goals. And then after you set small goals, you set medium goals. And then you set extra large goals. Now, things that I can do to further myself or further the potential and the destiny that I know that God has placed on my life. So whether it be like Antoine said, research, doing your research, or watching inspirational videos, keep making sure your company is your circle is the right circle so that you can go to your next level, so that you can elevate, keeping your mind filled with positive things, not diluting your mind by, doing 1, 2, and 3. You know what I mean? Does that answer the question?
It does, but only because of the type of person I am. I just like to make sure that everybody's on the same page, especially with a conversation like this, because you can't assume that everybody's already found their purpose to even ask them.
And
have
that
they found
and
their
and
purpose.
that's also if you're still trying to. If
So before you even touch on that, right? I think there still
Mhm.
is, even in the defining portion of it, a difference even there between passion and purpose.
Mhm.
Yes.
I
But
think the
I
two are
think,
pretty exclusive, but go ahead.
right, but I think your passion leads into your
Sure, sure.
purpose.
It's
And
interoperable.
Mm-hmm.
and every season of your life is going to have a different purpose.
True.
So, every season of your life serves a different purpose in your life. So, also.
And there are people, like one of my best friends, she is almost my age, and she just came into what it is that she really wants to do, because people go through life and they
Mhm.
don't know what it is God put them here for. And when you don't know what your purpose is, you're literally like a revolving door.
Mhm.
You're walking, but you're not going anywhere because you have no destination. But once you have a destination, everything in your life changes. Once you have someplace that you are supposed to be going to, and you know that you're supposed to go down this street, make a right, and then, go down another street, make a left, and that's Destiny Boulevard. Once you know that, your entire outlook on life changes. Now you're moving with purpose and passion because you know what your purpose is. You understand what I'm saying?
And
Sure.
I think so. I'm going to go back because I think before we start to really get into what our passion is and our purpose, we have to get out of our own way. We have to face our fears. We have to be thankful for what we have, know who we are, and be very mindful of who we're around. I went to church on this past weekend, and the pastor said a few things that, has stuck with me since. He was like, be careful where you go. Your destiny is tied to your discipline, and choose growth over company. And ever since then, like, I've really been taking those things in. And as the oldest in this family group, I'm really like, I'm starting to see how much smaller my circle has gotten as I've gotten older, because you go back to the saying that if you're the smartest out of all of your friends, then it's time to get a new set of friends. So like I'm really mindful of the people I am around that I can learn from and continue to grow.
That was a word. That was a whole
Um,
word.
do we have because some people take that statement literally, the whole um have people, or if you're not the smartest person in your friend group, so forth and so on. Like I have my
No.
core friend group that they're not necessarily, I don't smarter, right? So you're not looking at them in that sense, but they're your homies. Like that's
Yeah.
so I think for whoever's watching, right? I just think people take that statement literally and
No.
oftentimes
I'm
too
not
far.
speaking. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm not speaking that you have to be the one that has the PhD and everybody else has their GED. No, that's not what I mean.
So my destiny, right?
I'm weak.
My, my, my
Share, Chris, share.
nah, but I think relative to age, I'll speak from the Gen Z's perspective. I think a lot of us spend a lot of time trying to find purpose, a lot of time and effort trying to figure it out, or figure out rather, what does my life mean? You know, trying to answer these big questions at such a young age. Um, and we spoke to this before in a society that kind of nurtures this sense of angst and uncertainty, right, for my generation, so to speak. So, um, just being enthralled in that and having peers that deal with that, becomes very antithetical to my personal experiences, um, because I deal with things internally, right, as opposed to trying to use external things to answer my own questions, right? So, my perspective on it is going to be a little bit more spiritual, I guess, if you want to call it that, as opposed to religious. But I believe I uncovered my purpose and my passion at around the same time. I think I was blessed enough to uncover that at such an early age. Um, but I think, like we mentioned earlier, the two are independent of each other, interoperable. They're codependent in terms of one needing the other and one feeding off the other, but I think they're independent, right? So your passion, like Auntie said, can lead into your purpose. But oftentimes, I think people also find their purpose that ultimately leads them into whatever they're passionate about. I think your purpose is a little bit more abstract. I think passion is more so what you're physically doing in real time, right? Whether it's a career or what have you. But purpose, I think, is more so what God's plan is for you in terms of what your impact is supposed to be, or what impact your life is supposed to have
Yes.
on the people around you. And
Yeah.
oftentimes your passion is going to fuel your purpose through what you're doing, right? And the things that you do will exemplify God and what He's bestowed upon you and things of that nature, right? So, in terms of finding it, I don't think, and I think the verbiage matters here as well. Um, I don't think it's something that you search for. I think it's something that you uncover, right? Because it's already there. It's just a matter of,
Yeah.
okay, what are you
Aha.
doing?
It's
Right.
just a matter
Yeah.
of that revelation. When you finally get that revelation,
Right.
and you're finally like, oh, that's when you finally
Hmm.
hear that voice
Right.
and it says, you're supposed to be
Aha.
doing this.
Yeah.
Right. Because you look at all the greats in each of their respective industries, whether it's Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, or, Serena Williams, right? All the greats in their respective industries. When they were young, all their parents say the same thing. They exhibited these traits at a young age, right? It was already in them. It was just now, how was the outside world nurturing that for them to see it, right? And as I don't even want to say young black men, but even if you want to specify it to that particular demographic, um, we spend so much time trying to find it elsewhere as opposed to locally. And we waste time trying, well, not, I'm not gonna say waste time, 'cause it's not a waste, but it's a lot of dissipated energy trying to find it elsewhere, right? So obviously you've witnessed firsthand my phases and all the different things that I've gotten into and all the things that I've learned, try to pick up. All right, no, I don't like that. Up, no, I don't like that. Up, no, I don't like that. Until I finally landed on something. And then once you hear it from other people, like, oh, yeah, I always saw that. I see it now. This makes sense that you're doing this. Just like, okay, this was so not within the realm of what I thought I was going to be doing 10 years ago, 5 years ago. But again, it's just something that you uncover by not just, searching, but rather being mindful, right? And being open and receptive to, honestly, if you don't believe in God, but to God, or just being still, right? So, no, that was a mouthful, but yeah.
It was on time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely agree with Chris in a sense, because like I said, this January I've been taking a sabbatical from social media and different things that I know that have been having a hold on me, um, in order to reveal exactly what my purpose is in this season. Like I said, every season, and at least for me, my purpose not changes, but I think it adds on layers to who I'm trying to be in Christ. So in a sense of this, it's just more of, like I said, in the morning time, um, I wake up every day at 5 o'clock in the morning. And the first thing I do is I just read my scriptures. I read my devotionals for the day. And I literally have the room so quiet and pitch dark. And I usually use my flashlight. I don't even turn on the lights or so because I just want it to be so still. Like it's just a whole peaceful vibe that you just kind of get over yourself. And the first thing I do is acknowledge, because there's so many things to acknowledge in your life. And the second thing I do is have a moment of gratitude. Because like I said, like we see all the time, all of this stuff going on in the world or so, it's enough to drive your mind insane. So one thing you have to do is just practice gratitude. And it'll allow God to work on you to change your perspective in a lot of things. Because before, growing up, I used to have a victim mindset of why this is happening to me. Why am I going through this? And I'm like, why not? God had to literally say, why not? What makes you so special that you're not going to go through stuff just like everybody else is going to go through stuff? It's literally in the Bible, at least for my spirituality and everything. So that's what I think is just a start to, finding the destiny and your passion. For me, I'm a jack of all trades. I like to do so many different things. So I even though it can be a purpose, but I think, like how Chris said, it's more just a passion. And your spirituality and the person who you are is your purpose in life. And honestly, your purpose could just be going into that meeting and just giving somebody a hug at that moment because they just needed it. You know what I'm saying? And I think people go so hard on, oh, my purpose is, I'm going to spread the world and all of these things. I'm going to make a difference. And it's just like your purpose could literally be just to be like, you know what? You look good today. Because you don't know exactly what that could have done to somebody. Somebody said to me, I recently told somebody just like a synopsis of what I was going through in life and everything. And she literally told me, every time I see you, you have a smile on your face. And I'm like, honestly, that's because I can only lean on God. You know what I'm saying? I can't lean on nobody else. That's where my strength comes from. So yeah, it could be bad, but it can be worse. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm still here and God has given me another day to wake up and just to make a difference. And my purpose, I feel like my purpose is in life right now is to stop these generational curses in my family and both sides of my family. So it's just, I just think when you start off with having a moment of gratitude and just feeding off of that, going to therapy, and really search within yourself, because there's a lot of good things that people they feel like, especially social media, is getting overshadowed by everything else. And it's just like, no, really looking within yourself. You have a moment to speak life into someone. You have a moment just to say hello. You don't have to be so uptight all the time. You know what I'm saying? There's something to be grateful for. So I think once we start operating in that sense and that spirit, we'll be able to tap into everything else, especially with that discipline. Discipline is going to unlock everything. So I think once you hone into that and discipline, you'll be good to go. For sure.
And I just think, I'm sorry, Kaya.
Mhm.
One thing we don't do a lot of the time is stop and pause and sit just in a quiet space and listen and just breathe. We just always go and go and go.
Yes.
And have to get this done, and I have to send this thing, and I have to go here, and I have to do this. And sometimes we just need to take that time and just stop and breathe and hear and be like, okay, let me just take a breath and hear what comes. So I just wanted to add that after what Eve said.
And also, to piggyback off of that, is like everybody said before, is your village as well. Not only children need villages, adults need villages too.
I still got mine.
Hello, I quickly call.
Your circle is very important. Who you let pour into you is very important.
And not everybody is for you. I've noticed that. Not everybody can handle the level or the spirit that God is placing on you. And sometimes it's just, and it's crazy to me. Like when you see that person, it just, I don't know, God is so real, because he'll just eliminate that person just randomly. Like it's just something that just happens and they're just gone. And it's just like, how did that turn from this to that? And it's just like, you told me to reveal your circle. How you gonna get mad when I do? So
there's two key things that Eve and Shauna both brought up. And Eve had said a discipline. Shauna had said discipline. Waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, having a routine, reading the word, studying to show yourself approved. Those things go a long way. And one thing that Shauna say, and I say all the time, that you can't be so busy with life that you forget to live. And a lot of us have that. We have that aura about ourselves, because oh no, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Oh, don't forget, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And then when it's time to go to sleep, where did you live during the day? When it's time to lay your head down, did you actually live? Did you do anything?
Headaches, migraines, all that.
You know what I'm saying?
Stressed out, back hurting. I'm a witness.
I can only speak for myself because of the fact that I am a child of God. So I'm always going to go back to the scripture, and that God came for us to have life and have it more abundantly. And if we are not experiencing abundant life, then we are not living the way God intended us to live. So I can only speak by somebody that reads the word. And the word is what I apply to my everyday life. And one thing I also apply is, there's a book behind Shauna that's called From Affirmations to Manifestation that I recently wrote. And that book is basically to use affirmations on a daily basis, because when you make things repetitive, when you make things a part of your psyche, it becomes second nature, and then you begin to manifest the things that you say, because your words carry life. The scripture says, for out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And the heart is the spirit and the heartbeat of what God gave you. That's the foundation of what God gave you. And whatever's in your heart, your mouth is going to speak. So if it's negativity, if it's sadness, if it's hate, that's what's going to come out your heart. But if it's love, if it's grace, if it's favor, if it's happiness, that's what's going to come out of your heart and your mouth. And you're going to begin to manifest those things on it. And you won't even realize it. It'll be serendipitous. It'll be like, wait a minute. This is, wow. I'm living what I'm talking. You understand what I'm saying?
Sorry. I'll say usually right now, waking up. I'm trying to wake up early. Trying to, more early than I normally do. With that being said, I watch videos and motivational videos that try to help me be in the right frequency. Lately I've been trying to go to sleep with a certain frequency at night. So that's just something that I've been trying. But it's been working. Like I've been waking up in a better mood. I know what to anticipate in the morning. So if anything kind of changes in the morning, I know how to adapt now.
When you say if anything changes in the morning, you mean if something throws you off your game or?
Yeah, it could be anything. It could simply be the bus being late or the train, or even if I get like a 7 in the morning email and I'm like, we could have waited till like 10 o'clock, but I'll answer your email.
Mhm.
So stuff like that, just regular life.
And also, it's what you also feed your bodies. Let's also bring that up, because especially in the, the Black culture, we have all of these good foods and everything. All of your nutrition is also feeding into your mental health. All those junk foods and everything that's causing inflammations in your body, that's also going to sit there and make you depressed as well. So
Child.
I'm
let's
not
talk
gonna
about
front.
it.
I'm gonna eat my chicken nuggets from Wendy's. Hey, look.
You gotta have a balance. You
Look.
have to have a balance.
But see,
They had that salted caramel frosty, son. That joint
Ooh.
was
Nah,
crazy.
what
And I'm a
Antoine
sweet
said? What
girl.
Antoine said? The Lord's chicken,
The Lord's
Crazy.
chicken.
Chick-fil-A, honey.
FDA could come out tomorrow and say it got carcinogens. I'm pulling up to the drive-through window immediately. Give me 5.
Immediately.
get my frosted
I'll take 5, please.
Yo, okay.
In moderation.
In
moderation.
moderation. In
Oh
moderation.
yeah.
In moderation. It's okay to have a snack.
4 for
And
4?
stuff.
Come on, man.
But
Like,
no,
That
but
4 for 4 hits every time, especially
you
when
know
you
what
only
we
got $4 or $5.
I don't know how this began a conversation
Because-
at
nah,
all.
look, because she said it
Because
negatively affect
food-
your body. I'll be snapping and humming when I be. Come on, man.
You know how you ever get something good to eat and you start doing this? You be like,
Oh, that's me.
do the
That's me.
shot gold bond shake. You know what I mean?
because
That's
when you
me.
get a good meal,
food
shoot.
brings people together, no matter
Oh,
where
for
you
sure.
are. Food
For
brings
sure.
you together. So whether it's Wendy's or
But we also don't want it to bring everybody together for a funeral.
yeah,
So,
no,
Yeah,
but
no.
but
so
We don't want
But I
that.
mean, we also have to, think about the time that we're in. Like, think about our grandparents and great grandparents and the stuff. They ate chitlins and but they lived a lot longer because it didn't have all the stuff that that we have now. But
That's the FDA.
that's another topic.
That's another conversation. The FDA. Let me tell you something.
For
Let me tell you
another
something.
show.
Every week they coming out with something is bad for you. Next thing you know, breathing's gonna be bad for you.
for
Look,
sure.
I only got about another solid 60, 70, God willing. I'm gonna enjoy it.
They just got, what was it they stopped? Yellow something?
Red
Yellow
dye number 3.
Did we
Yeah.
need
And red
FDA to
40.
tell us that though?
And
I
red
know,
40.
right?
Did we
But
need
they've been-
FDA to tell us that red and yellow
They've
was
been
not a key
using that.
ingredient
They've
in
been
Fruit Loops?
using that since I was a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
the
that's
thing about it, when you go overseas to the same spots, McDonald's,
they don't have none of
they
that.
don't taste the same
I'll never
like it
forget.
tastes
I'll
here.
never forget. There's in the McDonald's in Italy is horse meat. I'll never forget that.
Yeah,
Never
so
forget they said it's horse meat. I, you know what? Give me a fillet of fish. I take a fillet of fish.
Take the
But it
fish.
tastes different because
Look just like
they
my niece.
don't
Oh my God.
allow those things in our food.
yeah.
So
Like
They
we
do
ain't
it
need the
here.
FDA to tell us that, man.
Shoot. That's
Imagine
also
your kids
funny.
asking you what the ingredient. Like, what you cooking, mommy? What's in there? Red.
Horse meat.
Oh wait, excuse me. Not red. It's the third one.
It's blue.
That's red 3. That's
it's red
trilogy.
dot number 5.
Trilogy.
Anyway. Anyway, when it comes to your overall wellness, obviously that's something that we all need to be cognizant of because of the fact that it's a lot. Like we started off the show saying, Trump is in office now.
Lord help us.
No, how you gonna link that? He ain't got nothing to do with the food. He ain't
No,
got
I'm
nothing to
talking
do with
about
the
your
food.
overall health. What you say, Yeswa?
Didn't he shut the World Health,
Yeah, organization now.
and then he gonna
Yeah,
start
he's
investigating the
out of the World Health
CDC?
Organization and the
Yeah.
Paris climate.
So I'm gonna say this because we are going to see and hear things every day for the next 4 years. So
Love it.
I feel
You think
like I feel like before we get here with everything he does, because it's Trump, he just does. But then I don't want to react until I know it's something that is actually going to be. He can say all this stuff. He's going to change this. He's going to do all of this. But he said that the first time. We still don't have a wall. And
No, I mean, them 100 executive orders. He's starting. He's
yeah,
starting
no,
on
no, but
He
just
signed those papers.
because he did it doesn't mean it will go through, because some of the things he does goes against
the Constitution.
yes. So
Mhm.
that's
Yes, but
why you have
pardoning the 1,500 plus
We get
January
it.
6ers.
I get all of that. I'm speaking about things that affect us each day. That's the stuff I'm speaking about. I don't want to get here each time because, as we just said, the first thing we have to do is make sure our health is good, which means here as well, which means sometimes stop scrolling,
Yeah, I had to get off. Oh my.
unplug.
Discipline.
I had to get
Discipline,
off.
right? It goes back
It
to
goes
right.
back to
It
discipline.
goes
I
back
had
there
to get off.
because
Cause he done
It's
he done
nothing-
fooled
it's
us
nothing
twice
new.
already.
he not right.
He done fooled us
It's nothing
twice.
new.
Now it's fool me.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
He did it twice. He did it twice.
Exactly.
Like how many? Like, do you get mad at a crackhead for doing crackhead stuff?
No.
No, you just walk past him like, oh, that's just Dave. You know what I mean? Like he's chilling.
Look at that. Yeah. What happened to your top row?
It's
What
just-
happened to your top row teeth?
It's just wild. It's Wednesday. That's Clarence. He cool. You know what I mean? You ain't tripping.
Clarence,
You ain't
not
tripping.
Clarence. He
So
cool.
if Trump do
Shut
Trump
up.
stuff, what we
I'm
at
not.
2025, we
I'm
can't be
not.
like, oh,
I'm not. I can't.
just let him do crackhead stuff. He's
I
doing it.
refuse.
It just sucks that he's the president and doing it.
And
Yes.
That's fine.
I refuse. I refuse. So I just say to everyone, take care of here. That means unplug, stop scrolling, don't react until we know it is.
Right.
How do we even
say-
get to Trump? I thought he wasn't even going to be speaking on
No,
that.
I know because we were
How we
talking
get from
about
red 3
we were,
to
we
Trump?
were talking about overall wellness, but overall
Talking about
wellness
yellow 5.
also has to do with your mental health
Yeah.
and what's going on right now in the
Affecting people.
it's real. You know, we had drones flying over us for a good 2 weeks. They were just like,
I'm tired about the drones.
it's man-made drones. But don't stress. FBI talk about don't stress over it, but the drones as big as an SUV hovering over your house. You'd be like, wait, what a minute.
But it's stressful because we allow it to be. Americans are stupid. We're absolutely stupid. You had people shining lasers and shooting guns at it. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Hold up. They found Osama in a cave, bro. You think that America doesn't know that there's town-sized drones flying over Jersey? Come on,
Listen,
bro. Come on, bro.
I watch like Secret Spy,
Taking pistols and shooting at
CIA,
the sky. What are we
Secret
doing?
Ops. I love those types of
Like
shows.
your 22 is gonna do something.
Like, your gun is big. You're like, bing, bing.
Like your 22 is gonna do something to the drone.
They do have drones and satellites that can zero in on anything at any time, anywhere. So that being said, take care of your mental health.
Please.
Don't be shooting stuff at the sky, man. Like, stop
So
doing
you'll have to
that.
come down.
Don't miss part 2 of the Melanin Movement podcast.
And this is no shade, but shade. If anybody has shown us that you can be as mediocre and whack at what you do and still ascend to the highest office in the land, we have a living, breathing testimony that we can look up to and say, look, I'm 30,000 times better than that. I know I can, you know what I'm saying?
We're living in a movie. This is not real.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X. And make sure you go to our website and get our merch today.